Good morning. Welcome to the cult. We're going to talk to Donnie and the DeFi Prince today about StrongHands protocol. How are you guys doing today?
Good morning, Tiamat. Doing great today, man. Thank you very much for having us on board here today.
It's great having you, Donnie. Been looking forward
Thank
to
you.
this, actually.
Yeah, me too. Likewise, your community's got quite the turnout already, so hopefully we can see some bigger numbers, but I'm looking forward to sharing all about what we do here.
Excellent. It's recorded as well, so for those that aren't here, it's a shame they won't win, but some money.
Are you recording?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I just can't see it on my phone, making sure.
Okay. You gave me a small little panic there. Yes.
Yeah, no, it's recording.
Give me a slight little panic there. Oh yeah, it shows the red little thing on the top of the bar.
Correct.
Next to the title. So, Donnie, stage is yours, my friend.
All right, then. Well, guys, look, thank you very much for coming along this morning to learn about StrongHands protocol. Look, as I said, I'm very happy to sort of be here to share with you guys what it's all about, what we do, what we plan to bring to the space, and answer some of these wonderful questions that I've seen flowing in from the audience. So a little bit of background first. My name, as you all know, is Don Function. I've adopted this name for the better part of 3 years now. I've been in the space for about the same amount of time, and basically I took a fascination to begin with in the space of Ethereum Classic. Very quickly, I learned how to apply my web development skills to making websites and then dApps, and then quickly learnt Solidity coding. And ever since then, I've sort of been, for lack of a better way to say it, bumping around the space with the different projects I find interest in, learning about how they work and how their mechanics operate, and seeing if perhaps I could make something similar or better. And I guess now, StrongHands protocol is the very definition and demonstration of that as these skills peak in this day and age. So for those of you who don't know, StrongHands protocol has already been around for the better part of 1 year. We actually started early in 2022 with the very first contract we put out known as 3D. Now, we did start on the Kronos chain, but we have also since expanded and evolved, and currently we focus on BNB. I'll tell you more about that changeover a little bit later on, but what's important to remember is that StrongHands protocol in its current state is a multi-chain community-driven DeFi platform and a DEX/AMM. Yeah.
Okay.
So
why did you choose this kind of project first? I'm kind of curious.
Really, a lot of the reason why I chose to make my own project is because I think there is a lot that can be done in the space to improve or to build out. And a lot of the time when you're involved in a community of an existing project, it is very, very difficult to sort of share your visions and opinions when there's already a direction established, especially when you don't have the ability to create voting rights or to earn votes to be able to influence a protocol. Rather, I saw bigger and I wanted to build my own thing straight out of the gate. So really, it's about what I believe that I can deliver to the system, which is why I chose to create this protocol.
I like it. So, Mr. Prince, tell me about yourself, sir.
Well, hello everyone. I am the DeFi Prince. I'm the community head of the StrongHands protocol. I've been working with Donnie for a few months now, and it's been one hell of a ride so far.
I'm not sorry.
About what I do over at StrongHands protocol. Well, mainly I, manage the community, and besides that, I write blog articles. I try and get them out weekly about what we're doing here over at StrongHands. I have a blog over at Publish0x and on Medium, which I recently opened. I usually cross-post. over at StrongHands Protocol, we actually have a chat that we do weekly over on Twitter Spaces every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time as well, which I also run. And,
I did catch the last one.
Yes, I saw that. Thank you for that.
No worries.
And,
I wanted to find out what was going on.
Well, we're seeing fresh faces every week. We've only been doing it for 2 weeks so far, but we hope to expand that and get even more faces on there, discuss what we're doing over at StrongHands and what's going on in DeFi in general.
Okay. So, Donnie, why don't you walk me through the website, my friend?
Absolutely. So, guys, first and foremost, I'd like to sort of lay it down without any fear of doubt whatsoever. The website to access StrongHands Protocol is stronghandsprotocol.org. This is our main URL, but we do have some other ones, which I will lead you guys through in a little bit. So before we get too far into the website here, I'd like to share with you all that as much as PePeMints and myself are here today to share with you, we do have two other team members. We have Duke and Manfred. Both of those guys, however, are more back of house. They're not really, they don't like to jump up on the AMAs. They're more back of house and behind the curtains. So, but Duke is actually our front end developer, and this website that you're about to see, that I'm about to guide you guys through, is what he's been building for StrongHands to deliver a more quality experience for everybody. So when you arrive on the homepage, immediately you get our header and the two contract addresses, which we believe will matter the most come time when SDE, our StrongHands Dex Elite token, finishes its MGE raise. So you'll be able to immediately copy those two addresses from the homepage. That's really important. So it tells you a little bit about the project, how we deployed on Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Kronos, Polygon, and we have actually recently expanded with a couple of our contracts to Phantom as well. So I don't know how many people are fans of the Phantom chain. I know I am. Andre Cronje is pretty great. Yeah, so we figure that wherever the DeFi interest is, wherever community interest is exactly where we'd like to build. So yeah, the homepage gives you a bit of a blurb about what's going on, but here's the really interesting page that we're up to at the moment. I mentioned a moment ago we have our SDE MGE, or Market Generation Event. So I'm going to...
What's SDE?
SDE, StrongHands Dex Elite.
Okay.
Yes.
Go on.
So an MGE, or a market generation event, it says right here, is an event in which a sacrifice of tokens is enabled to initialize and generate a two-pair market for a rooted token. Now, rooted token, for those that don't know, is the name of the actively traded or handled token in an elite token ecosystem. So creates a two-pair market. Contributors of tokens to an MGE may receive tokens as a reward for their sacrifice, and the rooted token may be used to stake in the ecosystem. So what this means is that we are actually raising up to a soft cap of 100,000 BUSD here. And basically, once we reach the 100,000, like the MGE says, we'll basically conclude the event, and it'll create a two-pair market for the elite token. After that, those that have contributed to the MGE will receive some SDE token, which they can immediately stake and start enjoying the protocol benefits. There's a lot of different levels to the elite token ecosystem, and there's no way we're going to be able to go through everything here today. But that's why I will definitely encourage you and remind multiple times that if you do have further questions beyond today's AMA, you can always ask me here in the chat or in the StrongHands protocol chat as well. I'm generally always available for that sort of thing.
Something I'm curious about, why the MGE route? There's
so
many different
the
ways
reason
to do a launch. I'm curious why that route.
Yeah, so the MGE is honestly a style of technology which I'm very familiar with in terms of development. I must actually give a very special shout out to another project out there that I'm aware of, and I hope this gets back to them. Sidekick Finance, man. If you guys have heard of those guys, then you'll know just how awesome what they're building is. They've got their Sidekick token over there. Their developers, King Cos and Hitsu. They are the guys who actually mentored me to begin working with Elite Token technology all the way back in 2021. And basically, ever since they built their Sidekick tokens, since I was working with Elite Token Tech as well in various projects, it's just become something that I'm very familiar with. And the advantage of the MGE is that it is a fair launch. It actually has multiple ways for everyone in the audience to participate. So you can obviously participate directly by contributing BUSD to the raise. And as I said, once the raise completes, you'll get back some SDE, which you can stake in the ecosystem. Or you can also grab your referral link. Now, I'm actually going to go ahead and connect my wallet to demonstrate this. This is pretty cool. We've integrated Rainbow Kit for our website here. So that means that we'll actually support MetaMask, Wallet Connect, Coinbase Wallet, and potentially other good providers of wallets in the future as well. So the other way you can participate in the MGE is to grab your referral link and share that around. Now, here's the extra kicker. You don't have to contribute to the MGE to receive referral rewards. All you have to do is share your link around. And then as others use your link to contribute to the MGE, you and they get a kickback in the style of referral rewards as SDE, again, at the completion of the MGE. So I feel the reason why we've gone the MGE route is because it raises a lot of the initial capital that we need to create our market and to do so in a strong and steady fashion. But at the same time, it also rewards those who would choose to participate and help us launch this vision and aspect of the protocol.
Very cool.
Okay.
Go on. I'm sorry I interrupted you. You were on.
No.
I was just curious about that.
Yeah, no, for sure. So that's pretty much what the MGE is. It's an opportunity for everybody to sort of contribute some BUSD and get their foot in the door before the market kicks off is really the best way to put it. And so like I said, we have a soft cap of 100,000 BUSD, which would be ideal for us to launch. But of course, we can always launch at any time, and we can go beyond that 100K as well. So whatever the community determines is sufficient for us, I guess, is where we'll run. We obviously hope to reach the target, but we won't drag the MGE too long either. Pardon me. Yeah. So once the MGE completes, obviously there will be more pages available on the website. Things where you can claim your SDE tokens, where you'll be able to stake them into XSDE, and XSDE is where you really start to see the benefits of StrongHands Dex Elite and the various other contracts that we're publishing.
Now, what's that protocol called again? Having that, it lets you double stake, right? If I understand it correctly. Can you elaborate on that for me again?
Yeah, so I think where the double staking comes from is actually more from like an older term back with earlier Elite Token projects. That was where people would be able to stake into the X variety of a token, and then there would be vaults that people could put into afterwards. That was particularly popular with both the HNW and the Sidekick crowds. Back when I think it was Gangster Finance that actually offered compounding vaults for both of those X varieties of the Elite tokens. So double staking is where that term comes from, and happy to say that StrongHands is offering a similar sort of thing in the future. One of the aspects that we hope to embrace as part of being a DeFi protocol is ERC 4626, which is, as some of you may know, the Yearn V2 style tokenized vaults. So what this means is that theoretically, even if we created a vault that had a time lock mechanic, anyone would still be able to exit their position simply by selling the tokens that represent their portion of the vault. And that's the technology that we really hope to see more wide adoption of, because that really does increase the composability of the DeFi protocols in the space. I think StrongHands protocol, tying that at its core, will enable it to be a mass proponent of that.
That is pretty cool. Show me the decks, please.
Yes, absolutely.
And
so here,
that one's already running, right?
Correct. So this is the StrongHands Dex interface on BNB. You might already recognize a similarity in style from Uniswap v2, and that's something that I'll put out there as well to let everybody know about, is that StrongHands Dex is basically our own variant and fork of Uniswap v2. Aside from a couple of name labels here and there, and of course the shiny front-end redesign, so to speak, the code behind the contracts is pretty much the same. Anyone is able to create a pair on the Uniswap v2 style contracts. Anyone's able to create a pair on the StrongHands LP contracts. What matters is that the front end we deliver is how we will deliver quality control to the tokens that are on offer and able to be traded. While it's true that anybody can create a pair and import their token for swap on the interface, the tokens that we actually list are controlled by a specialized package, much the same way that Uniswap does to provide oversight and review before tokens get shared with mass users. So we also have this interface directly available on Kronos, so crow.stronghandsdex.org, and we also have the same on Matic. So there is matic.stronghandsdex.org.
Very cool. Can you don't forget to share some of these links in the chat, please?
Absolutely. I'll be posting all of the links that I share about later on in the chat. It definitely once we're done here.
Excellent. Shut up, Alexa. Sorry. So, why Uniswap versus? Well, you said that already, but why? You told me before why you chose V1 versus V2. I thought that was kind of cool. Can you elaborate on that?
No, so this one is the fork of V2 rather than V1. V1 is an older style of Uniswap that accepts raw Ethereum. V2 is the one that takes the two-token model of the pairs. V3 uses liquidity represented as an NFT position. So for us to make the best fit possible for elite tokens and for tokens in general, we thought it best to fork the V2 variant of Uniswap. So that actually ties in with how the elite token mechanics work with its two-pair ecosystem. It's a little tricky to explain in simple terms. Definitely something better to be written down and shared around. But V2 is ultimately more suitable for the kind of projects that we'd like to launch in the future, is the simple answer.
Yeah, it was hard for me to wrap my head around it. That's why I wanted you to explain it, because I would have butchered
it. That's all right.
I know you guys have worked on other projects. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah, so we do actually have, like I said, a number of other expansions available within StrongHands. Are you talking about those or where else we've been?
Where else you've been? I know you've done
okay.
other things.
Yeah, for sure. So like I said early on in the piece, a few of you might recognize the elite token technology or some of the ideas here from previous projects that have been big in the space. Now, one project that I must make special notable mention of is the Degen Protocol's Sheep token. Now, I actually happen to be the core developer behind Sheep token. Shout out to Crypto Black Sheep sitting up there. I can see you there, dude. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, so Degen Protocol is also an adopter and a mass proponent of the elite token technology as well, placing it right at the core of their ecosystem with Sheep token. They also intend to create basically what is a safe space and kind of a solid environment where people will come to learn about crypto first. The Degen Protocol existed for at least 5 years already and existed for 4 years prior to doing any sort of tokenized activity. And it was really only sort of when I jumped on board that they thought, maybe a token might be cool. It actually happened over a beer one day, believe it or not. But that's another story for another day.
As do most things.
Hey, that's how Australians do it. So, yeah. But I've been around the place here and there. Like I said, Degen Protocol, Gangster Finance. I've been mentored by those at Sidekick. There's a lot going on. I
I haven't really read in depth about Sheet Protocol, but I do know Sidekick and that ecosystem. I think I still have a bag. It's been a while since I looked at it.
Yeah. So just to put it out there as well, DGen Protocol actually made a massive move, and something that I'm aiding with is the migration from Kronos chain to BNB. And one of the reasons for that primarily is the market reach and the availability of developer support, the ability to bring cool stuff a lot faster to the audience. We live in a very fast-paced sort of environment in this crypto space, and a lot of the projects that we're invested in, a lot of the projects we're interested in, they're all over here on BNB. And so while it was great to capture first mover advantage by going on Crow initially, that's one of the things that I like to think I encourage with protocols is adaptability. It didn't take a second thought for the rest of the DGen protocol leadership to jump on board and say, yeah, no, look, let's go to BNB and support our people a lot better. So, yeah, really excited for that because they're actually relaunching with an MGE as well at the moment. So if you're interested in that and you want to see more of my works that way, definitely check out dgenprotocol.io.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Tell me about the NFT aspect of your platform.
For sure. So the NFT aspect of our platform is a series of 1,000 profile picture NFTs inspired by my gorgeous face and avatar. Basically, yeah, they are minted for 50 DAI a piece. And every month, we send a gift of DAI out to those who hold DGen Donnies. It's a very simple concept, and it's really only our first foray into the NFT space. I think there's definitely capacity to do more in the future. But in saying that, I think we're actually looking to move the NFTs from Ethereum to BNB to address the gas concerns. Everybody knows just how much gas sucks on Ethereum. I've actually been telling people recently, I went to stake on Beefy Protocol the other day, tried to zap into one of their vaults. It was a $127 gas fee just to deposit. So I quickly said in no uncertain terms, screw that. And
these things are getting out there again now. Going to be the side chains are coming. They're already here, but they're coming more.
That is for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, I was gonna buy a shitcoin this morning, and I think I was only gonna put like 200 in it. The gas fee was like $80, and I was like,
oh man, you'd have to be sitting there for ages. I hope it pumps really hard to make that back. I mean, $80 one way. That's almost like
going up. You bastard.
That's the way shitcoins go, though.
Fuck. I just had I have the chart on this monitor over here, and I kind of lost track. Whatever. I'll get over it. I'm not supposed to touch shit.
Next time.
Anyways.
Next time, there's always an opportunity. So
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
So the NFTs, how long? That's been out for quite a bit, right?
Yeah, the NFTs have been around for almost 5 months now, and we've actually sent, I think there's a total of 4 gifts that we've sent to our holders so far, which, and we don't like to think of this in terms of monetary return value or anything. We do like to specify that the DAI that we send out is a gift. We've basically almost been able to return, I think the first batch of receivers of the gift are almost at 100% return in terms of 50 DAI per unit. They're actually at about 77% return in the 5 months that this has been going. So the NFTs are a bit of a slow sort of a thing. The gift only does happen once a month, but it's like I said, it's our first foray into the NFT space, and we're looking to see if there's more that we can do than simply profile pictures.
And what do you do with the funds that are in the pool?
Great question. So the DAI that comes in, we throw that at a partnership with a hedge fund known as Margin Syndicate. So Margin Syndicate are known traders who work with Bybit. They don't work with them. They use Bybit to manage their fund. And basically, Margin Syndicate take in the funds and they send back what it makes each month to us, like I said, so that we can gift it out to those who hold our NFTs.
Beautiful. I like that. I wish more projects wouldn't just let their liquidity just sit there instead of using it for something else. So I like that.
It's just like having money in a savings account in a traditional fiat bank. Money sitting in a savings account is not working for you. Money that's not working for you is worthless. So,
and what's is there a governance aspect to, is that part of the NFTs?
At the moment, the de facto governance has kind of been laid at the feet of those who hold the NFTs, because when you hold a Djendoni NFT, you also gain access to several of the hidden rooms inside of our Discord server on StrongHands protocol. And a lot of the time, the 3 developers on the team and the media guy that we are, we'll sort of drop alpha or talk to the NFT holders a little bit more quickly than we will the general public. We're always there for everybody, of course, but when we think that there's like a decision to be made or if there's something interesting coming up, we'll generally approach the NFT holders first. What we observe and what we create the effect of in charging $50 for these NFTs and then giving access to a private Discord room is that those who have put down that $50, maybe more to get another item or several more items, they're the ones who actually have a vested interest in how the protocol grows and how the decisions are made, how everything operates. And so it's easier and quicker to approach the NFT holder base in terms of reaching those decisions. It's not a perfect system, and we definitely look to transition to a better governance system, especially once the SDE token is established. But more details about that will come along, like I said, once the development of that governance aspect is finished.
Any plans on using the liquidity from all the other parts of the ecosystem to do something else, or?
Sorry?
The other liquidity from the other, like from the DEX and so on. Any thoughts of using that to earn elsewhere? Because I know you're a big fan of. I know you're a big fan of Yearn.
Right. Okay. So I don't know that there's any plans to do that with the other DEXs, so to speak. Rather, the other DEXs will feed the smaller aspects of our ecosystem. Now, I did mention that when we kicked off, we first started with the 3D contract. And what that is, or I'd like to share about that now, is a custom variant of the Hourglass contract of maybe some of you remember FOMO 3D or Proof of Weak Hands by Team Just all the way back in the day. Basically, it's a similar... Vaguely? Okay, so I'll explain really quickly. Basically, the Hourglass or the 3D contract is a self-contained market which people can deposit currency into and withdraw currency from. As a deposit is made, each unit that is 1 with 12 zeros at the end, I think, that is the base price, but it increases with each token that is bought. So at the moment, the price for the next token is 0.00026 BNB. The next price, like as one token is bought, that'll increment. As another token is bought, that'll increment again. And so the price rises as more currency is deposited. And of course, the price falls as more currency is withdrawn. There is a 10% fee in and out as this goes around, and that fee is redistributed between those that hold BNB 3D. As you can see here, I have a balance of 158 BNB 3D. Not so many at this stage, as I've been using my own stack to fund the deployment of contracts and the like. So, yeah, so basically, normally speaking, that concept is sort of where it finishes for the others, but we thought we could take it further, and so we did. What we applied to the Hourglass concept is a contract known as price floor. Now, what this does is it acts as, for those who'd like to think technically about it, a last man standing, the bag holder, the last one out, right? If everybody was to sell their 3D tokens in one of these 3D contracts that we've published, there would still be price, value, and collateral available and holding up the system. The price floor contract is a specialized address that receives dividends in the form of whatever is basing the 3D contract at the time, whether it's BNB, FTM, Crow, or Matic, and it can only compound those earnings into more 3D tokens. It can never sell its own tokens. It can never transfer its tokens anywhere else. And so, like I said, it basically takes the fall as the bag holder, and as volume is applied to the ecosystem, as more buys and sells and transfers are applied to the 3D contract, that contract, the price floor, also grows just like any other regular strong-handed player. But the difference is that it props the price floor up and keeps it growing. So we think that's a very, very powerful sort of a mechanic, and that leads me into what we're doing with the other dexes. So, like I said before, our beacon chain is BNB. That's where we focus our development because in terms of developer support, the systems available, and all of the connections out there to our other favorite partners, BNB is our beacon chain. But we do have dexes on Matic and Kronos. So one of the things we're looking to do with the DEX fees generated on those chains is to feed some of the DEX fees into the price floor contract, which will allow growth of those price floors as well. Effectively, the 3D contract can be looked at as a semi-steady way for a long-term hold of your base currency. Obviously, you don't want to go in and then withdraw too quickly because you'd be on about a 19% downside total. But obviously, as you place in and as the ecosystem grows, as more trades are done, more pairs are created, more projects onboard and park their liquidity, et cetera, the 3D contracts will receive that trickle benefit, and much the same as anything else that we introduce as well.
So it acts like a reserve, kind of cool.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds similar to the SG20 standard that they're trying to do with Surge, where the liquidity is stuck in the contract. Kind of cool.
It's actually not that far from that either, and that's what interested me about the SG20 as well. If you take a look at the documentation, which we list at the bottom of each of our pages, we also show all of the contract addresses behind everything that we've done so far. So there's the 3D, there's the DEX, there's the elite token contracts. There's a couple of the vaults that I've published. We also do TWAP oracles for the pairs. So for those that might operate a seigniorage protocol or a tomb fork, we actually have a factory contract that creates your price oracles for you. So that's pretty cool. And we also have a couple of others in there that we're currently experimenting with. Route Manager, Elite Arbitrage, and a stable swap contract as well. So, yeah.
Do you plan on doing more with the SG20? I'm super curious about that. You know how much of a fan of self-contained liquidity I am.
Yeah, for sure. Look, we don't plan to do much with SG20. I have explored it a bit personally, but it's not been something that's hit the StrongHands desk. What I will demonstrate here is that we have is the contract code, and like I've explained, is that all of the liquidity behind 3D is also self-contained. You can see there's 3.4 BNB right there, and that's propped up by the contract as well. Hit back a couple of times here. Pardon my disorganization. See, there's 3.4 BNB there. And there's 3.4. So it's it's all self-contained. The code is verified, as with all of our contracts that we publish. I think that's very important, is that anybody can check out our code anytime. And a lot of it as well is published under MIT. Now, for those of you who don't know, and I'm going to keep it simple, MIT license is a brilliant thing because what it means is that if you have a great idea and you see some code out there that's licensed under it, you can grab a copy of that, you can sort of do what you want to it, but the catch is you've got to let other people do the same to your changes in code as what you do to the original. So that's what we do as well. Sorry?
Kind of like paying it forward I like that.
Yeah, paying it forward. It's an inheritive license. That's right. What it means is that theoretically, if we put out something cool, someone comes and grabs our code, does something cooler, they are under the terms that means that we can grab a copy of their cooler thing and roll it back up the stream. So overall, by contributing what we do to the open source community and by allowing people to do that, we believe that we're sort of helping to make the space better overall.
Yeah, kind of like, here, look what I can do. What can you
do?
I like that. That's
exactly. Cool. Very, very supportive of that sort of mindset.
I like that. Very competitive. Let's go back to the NFTs for a second. 1,000 supply. Is this a one-time thing? Will there ever be more? Is there a burn mechanism?
So, like I said, realistically, the DGen Donnies is the first foray into the NFT technology for StrongHands. And at this stage, we're still looking at ideas for how to expand. I think primarily at the moment, the focus will be to get them moved over to BNB rather than staying on Ethereum. I can't say for certain if we have any further plans with NFTs at this stage. There's no deflationary mechanism, although you can't mint any more than 1,000. So once 1,000 DGen Donnies are minted, that's it. We may start another collection. We may not. Again, it really all depends on community sentiment and how the other aspects grow over the next little while. But it's good to know that the interest is definitely there. So,
interesting. What's the dashboard? No, you are on the dashboard.
Oh, the dashboard. That's just the page here.
I was seeing things. So
that's all right.
Sounds pretty good. What else do you think we should know?
Well, I think we've sort of briefly touched on just about everything that I can share about for now. If there's any other questions from people, though, I'd be happy to go after a few of those. I saw some pretty good ones coming up, so...
Well, yeah, if you want to pin them and tag them, we can go with that. Do you have... is there any big... Actually, I'm curious what you think about the what's happening with regulation lately. What do you guys have any? Have you thought about that and the future of the project? That might affect you and so on.
Yeah, so look, regulation is always a scary thing, especially in DeFi. And honestly, it's one of those things that protocols are still trying to work out. There's obviously a lot of gray area where every different territory and country and jurisdiction wants to have their rules and their way. And generally, what I can sort of sum it down to is that they all want control of what you guys are doing. At the end of the day, they don't want to help you or protect you or otherwise. What they're scared of is that what everybody is stepping into here is a greater march forward into financial independence and sovereignty. And so really, regulation is sort of there to get you guys back under control, to make you think this is all a bad idea. And honestly, I think that is so damaging to this beautiful technology that we've been given. Realistically, the plan going forth is that while we absolutely are working in some DApp space areas, StrongHands protocol, or more to the point, StrongHands dev team, is eventually going to become more of a software vendor. You know, we'll create front ends and APIs and services more than things that people can put their dollars into. So this is where we're at now, but eventually we want to evolve into more than just, you know, crypto. We'd like to go software in general, you know, because there's a lot of different industries out there, and you can't stay in just one space. You need to be able to grow. So I guess really at the moment we're going to stick to our guns. We're going to keep doing what we're doing, and we're going to make sure that our feet are steady about it. No knee-jerk reactions or anything like that. I think I actually saw a question earlier about our stance with BUSD, given the recent announcements from the SEC. And I'll simply respond and say, look, we'll finish the raise in BUSD. We have the capability to switch over to something else if necessary, but we're not going to stop and do it now, as it'd be a knee-jerk reaction. And a lot of people seeing a protocol do that preemptively, you know, that can sort of create a cascading or domino effect where, you know, other protocols get the same idea, like, oh, you know, they're getting out, maybe we should too, and then that's when things really go to crap. Largely, I think what BUSD has witnessed, and I think a lot of people pointed it out as well on the day of that announcement, is that DeFi is very resilient to FUD, especially when people understand the fundamentals of what's going on. There are a lot of DeFi protocols out there, competitors, friendlies, whoever it is, they're all out there, and they all use BUSD as 1/3 of their stablecoin supply, or like a large base of that. It is going to take one absolutely monumental effort to kill BUSD across the board, which I don't think they're actually going to do. There's a lot of protocols, like I said, that are using it, that are still swapping it around, transferring it, and by those 3 actions mentioned alone, there is mutual agreement of value between the 2 parties involved in a transfer. So as long as that agreement of value persists within the community, and as so long as we can recognize what BUSD does for us, on the whole, as we saw on the day of the announcement, the market barely felt a lick on that. So
yeah, that was actually quite surprising. I was expecting a red day.
Yeah, no, I was too, admittedly, but I actually found it quite funny that BUSD was up 0.16% shortly after the announcement. So,
my last question for you. Did I just forget my last question? Yes, I did.
Whoops.
I actually did. Okay, so the very first question I see, you've already answered it. That's a problem with getting questions submitted before. They usually get answered. But you said you found a couple questions that you wanted to answer. Why don't you grab one or 2 of them?
Yeah, for sure. Let me. Oh, I've got my document over here. I was writing down the answers to them in preparation for this morning.
Good Lord,
so
man.
I think we sort of went over. You need to be. If you're going to do this sort of thing, you need to have a serious mentality about it. Get organized. Make sure you've got your notes in order. We have a team calendar. We have a team organizer board. We have a Discord channel directly for ourselves. We have, all of the connections necessary to make sure that we operate in an efficient manner, and even so much so that all 4 team members, we've actually exchanged private numbers to our cell phones as well in case of a major oh fuck moment, So there is that to consider as well. But yeah, no, it's I believe that anyone who's serious about it needs to organize themselves. So thank you. I appreciate that. You see there. I think I have actually kind of crushed a few of these questions in passing.
Actually, yeah. Well, I have one more. Where are the dev fees in the ecosystem?
Right, the dev fees of the ecosystem. Glad you asked. So the dev fees that are generated from the ecosystem solely come from the SDE token. And how this works is through the fee splitter. Now, I mentioned earlier on in the presentation that the SDE token incurs a buy, sell, and transfer fee, and that is a simple 5% of whatever is being bought or sold or transferred. That 5% goes to a contract known as Fee Splitter, and Fee Splitter is really cool because what it does is it actually breaks down those tokens and sends them to the various places in the ecosystem that strengthen liquidity, that tighten volatility, and that reduce circulating supply, which is the additional factor, the deflationary aspect that I know a few of you out there definitely had some questions about. Now, I do want to address, that is actually a question I will address in this pass as well, yes, SDE is absolutely deflationary, much the same as the other elite tokens that also implement a burn pit or a barbecue, for example. Basically, the deflationary aspect is by locking away tokens out of circulation on a permanent basis, and that actually strengthens us and the ability to reuse the locked liquidity that the elite token standard allows us to do. There's so much to go into about elite tokens. Maybe we need to do another presentation about elites specifically later.
I'd like that because I'm curious about how it actually works.
Yeah, I might even have to reach out to Rootkit and see if their original creator, Professor Kronos, can come on board as well, because Professor Kronos would explain it the best. So
I'm slow, you know that.
Oh no, not at all. Like I said, Elite token is definitely an advanced topic, so I'm trying to explain as much as I can in simple terms here. I just don't want to get too in-depth because I'll manage to lose everybody in the audience.
Okay. Did you grab the questions you wanted to?
Yeah, I think that's about it, is the deflationary aspect and how it works. How many elite tokens will be available on StrongHands protocol, and would you explain how an MGE event works? Okay, so we already explained how an MGE works, but I'll address this other part of the question, is that there will only be one elite token on StrongHands decks offered by StrongHands protocol, and that will be the SDE token.
So that's the only token in your ecosystem. I like that.
Yeah, so SDE is the only token in our ecosystem, that's right.
One second.
Mm-hmm.
There was what do you have I like this question just because it comes up a lot. It's not that unique, but and people always asking about marketing plans and global. So this guy just wants to know what's your plans to go after the global market, especially Brazilians, because he's Brazilian.
Righto, shout out to Brazil.
I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, look, sorry, run out question by me one more time. That's
he just wants to
marketing plans, right?
Right.
Okay, excellent.
Go ahead.
So, first, when StrongHands first got started, I kind of had to handle everything for myself, being the sole developer and the creator and originator of the idea. But that's actually why we've in the recent months brought on board our media guy, the DeFi Prince. Since we brought him on board, the overall plan for marketing and of StrongHands protocol is to get into as many AMAs as we can, to have those blog articles regularly written, to have daily social media coverage, basically do all the things that all of the other protocols already do to spread their word. What we can't achieve through those regular methods of social media outreach and things like that, we'll offer through marketing incentives. One of the cool things that we do and that we are doing in this aspect of marketing is for projects which come and park their liquidity on one of our dexes. Okay, let's say a project come and move at least 90% of their liquidity to StrongHands dex. We can basically grab the fees that are generated to StrongHands decks from the trades. We can break up to half of those and send them back to the project, which they created for the best two pairs that they have. So let's say for a minute that, some meme token has a BNB and a BUSD pair, and they're doing really, really well. Well, because that's the first two best pairs they have, we'll cut up to 50% of that and send it back to them so that they can then either burn it off as their own tokens, or they can do with it what they want. That's just one of the ways, though, and really the aim of this is to point out, I don't see another DEX offering projects the ability to get half their fees back on the premise of moving liquidity. And when projects and people really look at the fact that our DEXs are in no operational capacity different to that of Uniswap or Pancake, which is technology you're already familiar with, the only thing holding you back from actually taking advantage of that deal is the feasibility of migration. And that's something else that we aim to help projects with as well in the future, is what they need to do to make big moves, like jumping across chain or setting up somewhere else or setting up two different chains at the same time. The first demonstration I can possibly make of that is indeed moving Sheep token from Kronos to BNB. There was a number of contracts that needed to be sort of rewritten and worked upon before that was totally possible. And so we sort of went through and found exactly what needed to be done, helped them move across. And so now in, I think, 9 days' time now is when Sheep token kicks off on BNB again. So, yeah, really marketing comes in two forms, through social media outreach and through just competitive advantage within our dealings with other projects.
I like that. I personally don't think banner ads or paid advertisements work, to be honest with you. I think it's word of mouth and good work.
Exactly. See, paid advertising and things like news wires and all that sort of thing. Look, we could spend the money to go and get on Yahoo Finance for an article, but at the end of the day, anybody who's been in the space long enough knows that that's just a paid news wire, and they'll post anything they're paid to post. So, really, there's not much value in doing that beyond I suppose the idea that maybe there's some investors still reading Yahoo Finance. I mean, maybe there is, but we're not really after those people in terms of community members. We want the people who are here, the ones who actually enjoy this aspect of DeFi, and the ones who we know will spread the word when they discover just how cool it is.
Yahoo's still in business?
I think so.
Oh, that's news to me.
Yeah.
This is from Crystal Zueta, I think. Something I have noticed in your ecosystem is the eminent presence of the bonding curve algorithm. So I find it very interesting. So could you mention how this algorithm works with StrongHands money ecosystem, as well as provide details on the
someone who knows what they're talking about. Bonding curve, give that person a gold star. Awesome.
I did not know what the hell that was. So I
okay.
wanted to know what the hell that was. So what?
Okay, that is the
do you guys get
bonding curve. Sounds like something that happens in the bedroom, right?
Sounds like something with some petting involved.
No. So the bonding curve algorithm is part and parcel of the 3D contracts, which we explained how they work before. Basically, the 3D contracts, how they act as a long-term hold and reserve. The price goes up when currency is deposited. The price goes down when currency is withdrawn from the vault. It's that curve that is directly responsive to supply and demand that this person is talking about. And so that's really how the bonding curve ties into it, is that we have these 3D contracts as the reserves, and the bonding curve is affected and amplified, likewise by the concept of the price floor contract, which we also spoke about previously. I hope that answers the question. Like I said, give that person a gold star, because that's the first time I've been queried about those specific words, bonding curve algorithm, in an AMA. Thank you very much.
Yes. Okay. I think that made sense. Okay. I need a second. Okay, I got it.
Excellent.
Do you find any other questions in the room that you want to ask? Should we open up the floor to people in the room?
Yeah, look, let's open up the floor to the other people in the room. I think I've sort of done enough off the spot sort of talking here. I'd love to hear what other people have to say. Let's go for it. Let's have at it.
Excellent. I am unmuting some people's. Feel free to raise your hand if you want to ask something. The DeFi Prince has been quiet quite a bit.
I think I've sort of been killing it. He's not really had to say much.
You got that right. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
He's probably in the back there saying, "That bastard's stealing my show."
That's all right. He'll become a great showman yet. All right. So, who's got a question for us? Anybody?
Hello, guys. I'm audible.
Greetings.
What's going on, Marcos?
Okay, so actually, I just got a couple of questions. So my first question is, I don't know if you guys have touched on this before. Just want to know, like, how has the experience and background of your team been effective, with the sources of this project so far? And how do you guys aim to revolutionize the field of blockchain and NFTs?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that one?
Can you say that? Say that one more time, sir.
Okay, I said, how has the team experience and background been effective in the sources of this project so far?
How has the team's background been affected in... I'm deaf, I think. Did you grab it?
Should I repeat?
Maybe try typing a question. The audio is a little bit funny. Sorry.
Okay. Can you hear me well now?
I like this question as well. I believe the biggest problem with DEX is liquidity and hack attacks. What did you do in regard to making sure that your security is? I'm sure you did all the basics, but what else did you do to make sure that everything is shipshape? I think that's his point.
Yeah, great question. Look, I think one of the things that I'd like to point out is, as I said, our DEX technology is based a lot upon Uniswap v2. Besides changing the token name for the LP pairs and the symbol thereof, realistically, the security model is exactly the same as that of Uniswap v2. If you found a weakness in ours, then you'd have something to go and knock on the door of the Uniswap team with as well. Yeah, there is that to take into consideration. I'd like to highlight as well is that although we do provide a front end for the swap contracts, remember, being that it's a V2 protocol and anyone's sort of free to spin up their own front end as well, that's sort of what we encourage too, is for people to not only access the website, but also to set up their own local copy of the swap front end on their own machine as well. Is something that we'll be looking to coach people through, because then what people can do as they run these local copies of the applications from their own computer or from their own system is that they won't be then susceptible to 404s and things like that. Not suggesting that anything like that would ever happen. We do actually implement a number of securities. So we have Netlify CDN for one. We're looking into compatibility with Cloudflare for that as well. But we do have protections in mind, starting first and foremost, though, with the ability to look after oneself more than looking after everyone else. So, like I said, local environment running is our prime focus in the next step of security.
And you know what, too? My question finally came back to me.
What's that?
But simple thing that we usually overlook. Tell me the simplest way to go from cash to depositing in the MGE. Walk me through,
right.
Like you were walking your grandma through it. Just give me the most basic suggestion on how to do it.
Yeah, so the easiest way is obviously through any of the bigger exchanges that promote themselves. You want to take some money, go to a place like Binance, for example. You can buy BUSD. You'll withdraw that to your wallet in MetaMask, and there are tutorials on how to create wallets in MetaMask. So you put the BUSD in your MetaMask wallet. You head to stronghandsprotocol.org/MGE. You connect your wallet in the top right corner here. And as soon as you've done that, you're good to go. You hit the max button, which is something I like to do, and then hit the deposit button, and away you go. That's it. There we go. Just like that. 3 cents going in. Oh, what a waste of a gas fee. 3 cents contribution for an 11-cent gas fee. Oh, did I just do that? Yes, I did.
Sorry.
That's all right.
I've done worse. I mean, like one time I actually like dove for my router because I signed something I shouldn't have.
Oh.
I did like the Superman dive for the router. Unplugged.
Oh shit! Yep.
Luckily, I made it. But I was. I meant to send. I meant to send one token, but I was sending my entire balance, and I was going to cry.
Oh wow!
Anyway,
needless to say, thank fuck you made that grab.
Yeah, thank God for slow fucking blockchain transactions.
Oh man!
Thank God, Poly is slow as hell.
Yeah, they do have issues with that every now and again. That's actually another thing I'll address really quick. Is exactly why we're sort of building on multiple chains as well. Is because when one chain is going slowly, you need to be able to have options for other chains. Where Polygon might be a little bit slow, we can make up for that performance on Phantom, because Phantom has 0.9 second finality of blocks, which is absolutely smashing. That's something Nigel Thornberry would say, smashing.
I just pinned a really good question for you too.
Yeah, for sure. I'll get that one in a sec. But yeah, that's why we're on multiple chains as well, is so that we're not just bound by the limitations of one chain. We have the advantages of multiples.
Redundancy. I like it.
Let me check this question out. I really like StrongHands protocol's concept of strategy, which is that each human holder sells a 3D token, makes 100% withdrawal, still be value locked in the call contract, giving price and value of 3D token. It's very good, but what if this happens repeatedly? I mean, they do 100% withdrawal, still never goes down, deposit again.
You're reading through there fast.
Yeah. Sorry, I skim read. It's something I can do. Yes, so it is. It's very good. At the end of the day, look, so long as the bonding curve algorithm in 3D and so long as the price floor continue to work, which we know that they will, it's always going to be a good thing that price and value keeps going up. Honestly, with the value that we see that could potentially land within 3D as we establish other aspects of our protocol, I really don't see people pulling 100% out. You know, that's honestly basically akin to taking a handgun and putting a round right through your foot. You know, so. But I mean, each to their own, of course. And you know, we have seen more interesting things in the space happen than that. But honestly, I don't see that reasonably being anticipated as a thing that people would do. So, but great question nonetheless. Thank you.
Yeah, I like that one. Other than that, I think that's it for us today. I'll stop the recording, and then we'll stick around and answer some other questions if you guys want. But all the other, I don't really see any. We've covered pretty much all these questions, I think.
Pretty much all of them, yeah, I think so. Guys, look, as I said, if we didn't get to your question today or if you think we've missed you at all, I definitely encourage you to join the StrongHands Protocol social spaces. We have Telegram, we have Discord, we host a Twitter space once a week, every Tuesday. We also... you know, we're also trying to get out to as many AMAs as we can. And of course, myself, the DeFi Prince, and others, we're all around and we're more than happy to answer a question whenever you guys have. Tioma, did you want to select the winners and I'll work out the distribution of the prizes later?
Yes, I have, there's 3 of them pinned so far.
Fantastic. All right then, wonderful. Well, I guess if we're going to finish up here, I guess I'll just say, look, thank you very, very much for having us on board here today. I really appreciate the opportunity that we've been given to share with your community, to speak to everybody and address some of the questions the community might have. We've seen an influx of users over the last 24 hours joining our spaces already, and we can't wait to see more people joining in. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. If you want to stick around, I totally want to talk about that elite token thing. That's confusing.
I've actually got to kind of keep going this morning. I'm a bit pressed for time, but that's why I've invited everybody to ask questions through the other channels. If that's all right.
That's fine. We can talk about it another time, my friend.
Yeah, let's definitely set up another time.
All right. Thank you guys for coming. The 3 people are pinned.